We have time for a call or two. I know you're out there. I can tell because we have controls that tell us how many listeners. If you'd like to have a quick a comment or a question for Don Jansen, it's 888-1-NET-6, 888-1-NET-6, and we'll just pick it up and you can ask him a question. We got to get you up here to the Dripping Springs area and do a little workshop again. Remember we did one some years ago, and we had like 100 people, and you just talked about the ocean-grown technology. We had a ball.
Yeah. This time I'll show them how to grow grass. We've got to get more serious about that.
Show people how to grow wheatgrass. That'd be great.
Everybody should learn that. I just had a class here in Naples last week, and we had about 35 people came, and I brought trays and showed different stages of it, and a lot of them are growing it this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we need to, in our houses, we can grow our own grass, and it's incredible.
Uh-huh.
We need to supplement our food with good food.
Do you use the fluorescent lights for the lighting?
Just regular, fluorescent lights are fine.
Mm-hmm.
For plants that don't set flower, regular, any kind of light bulb works. But if you're going to have fruit set and a blossom set, you need ultraviolet. Yes, then you need a special bulb.
Hi, where are you calling from?
San Marcos.
Okay, go ahead. Well, you're on there.
Yes. The question is, when you talk about the ratios of the ocean-watered rainwater, are we measuring 2,000 to 500 parts per million as conductivity or total dissolved solids, or is that the actual physical ratio?
You got to turn down your computer a little bit. He said total dissolved solids.
Yeah. And you can measure it the other way with conductivity, but TDS is what I like to measure with,
TDS.
That answers it. Thank you so much.
Well, you're quite welcome. Glad you're out there. Yeah. So total dissolved solids, that's what you do, right? And
TDS meter.
Yeah, you get one of those little meters. They're very inexpensive, aren't they? I have a couple of them, and
H&M Digital sells them on the internet for $25, I think.
H&M Digital.
Yeah.
On the internet for $25.
They're very good. I've used mine for years. They're very good.
Don Jansen, I have some fruit trees outside and fig trees, and I've been giving them a solution. What would be the best ratio, the TDS, for those kinds of things?
I'd say trees can easily take 2,000.
About 2,000 parts per million?
At least once a week, give them a drink. I did this.
Oh, I can do it once a week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll love you.
Really?
And if you have a big tree like an avocado tree or an orange tree, about a 5-gallon bucket, just ring it right around the stem, the trunk, and then let it pour out where the roots are.
Okay.
The size of the bush above it. And, man, that's a good drink. And then the rainwater will take it down to them.
Okay. So I'll get about a 5-gallon bucket of it, fill it up with my rainwater, and dump in enough ocean water for 2,000 parts per million. And once a week, just have a go, huh?
Yeah. Do that this summer, and they'll love you.
Folks, I got to tell you, I gave these small fig trees, they're only about 2 feet high, some ocean water about a week and a half ago, and you cannot believe what happened in the last week and a half. I mean, you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away. It's like, okay, now where are folks going to get ocean water? Because I brought in a few barrels for myself years ago from, Kevin up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
How can folks get it?
I have a friend in Miami who goes out in the Atlantic, and he's getting it now, and he can send you a 5-gallon bucket to UPS.
Okay.
And he gets, I think it's $17 a gallon he wants for it.
Yeah.
That's what I pay him for it.
But that's a good deal because it's going to last a very long time.
Well, diluted down to 5 ounces to get your 1,500, that gives you about 35 gallons. When you buy a 5-gallon bucket, that's quite a bit of fertilizer for a garden and for plants in the house.
Oh, especially if you do hydroponic, right?
Yeah, it reuses.
And then, this is just the beginning of the revolution, right? So once we really get enough people around the area, like the Dripping Springs area, but the Austin area, we'll be able to get enough people so we can get a truckload and stuff like that. And then people can get a whole barrel for a lot less money.
And they could go to your coastline, go in the Gulf, stay away from the big cities, and go out about 10, 15 miles. A boat get you a bunch of barrels of it. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, we can figure it out ourselves. But
I recommend that.
But first, we need to get a few hundred people are into it and that kind of thing. That'll just take a little while, but we'll build it with One Radio Network. And because come the revolution, folks, what we need is just food. We we need food. We need some minerals so we can think clearly, right?
Right. And you can survive and stay healthy even though there won't be good food. So Anne Wigmore lived through the Second World War. She and her mother and her grandmother hid up in the attic. And the night, little Anne would go out and tear off grass. And the next day they sat up in the attic and chewed everything downstairs was stolen because soldiers would come dropping down. They didn't know the women were up in the attic.
Right.
But Anne lived through the Second World War off of grass, off the land. Now, had they had wheatgrass, it would have been better grown in ocean water, but they didn't know that.
Yeah, I've heard that story. Isn't it a wonderful story, folks? So that's actually how Anne Wigmore got to start, right? That's how she figured out how powerful grass was.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you've just joined us, Don Jansen said at the beginning of the program that he stumbled on the fact that grass is the one species on the planet that will uptake every mineral that you introduce to it. Every mineral. The other species like sweet potatoes or celery, they're Don? They're kind of genetically designed to only pick up a certain amount, right?
Yeah, and when you get hybrid seeds, they're overdosed, genetically engineered to take up way more NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, than you would out of ocean water. When you use ocean water, the best seeds to get are open pollinated heirloom seeds, and then they match the ocean beautifully. I've never altered the fertilizer.
Yeah.
And when I had hybrids, I had to add stuff. Yeah.
So they manufacture these seeds to just take up the NPK stuff.
Right. Way more than normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Boy. Do you think that's why we're all kind of silly because we don't have enough minerals? It's hard to think clear. You think so?
That's why we're sick and we don't feel good and we don't have energy. You bet. People always have all kinds of ailments. They don't have the. It's like telling you to repair your house and you want a new roof put on, and when the guy comes to repair it, he wears the shingles. He says, "Oh, I don't have any, but fix it." Well, what's he going to do? There's no nails, no shingles. That's why we do our bodies. There's nothing to repair it, and we are made from the elements, and we've got to have the elements to repair. The body will heal itself if we give it the elements. It knows what to do with it, but you got to have the shingles there.
Mm-hmm.
It won't do it.
Got to have them. Don, do you have an email if folks want to reach you?
Yes, sure. It's Donald.Jansen at gmail.com.
Donald.Jansen at gmail.com.
Right, yeah. Try to answer questions, help people get started.
Yeah, and as we get going, now that I'm at this full time, we're going to be able to do a lot more, but we can take some photos of our whole setup here, dripping. And folks, again, I'll offer an invitation to you. Don helped me set up a really beautiful system that's hydroponic in gravel, and you can get an idea. I invite you over. Just email me, Patrick at oneradionetwork.com, Patrick at oneradionetwork.com. I'll be happy to have you come over. You can take a look at it and then build your own at home. And it's a beautiful thing because you don't have to just once a day. You could actually put it on a timer, and since there's no weeds, you wouldn't have to do anything.
That's right. Automatic water.
You wouldn't have to do anything. You just the garden.
Go out and pick the fruit.
Yeah, just go out and pick the fruit. Well, I'm glad you told me about that. My fruit trees. Well, I'm excited about that. I didn't know you could water them once a week. Wow.
Oh yeah. They don't need it every day at all because they got massive roots, and that's the most I've ever. In fact, I changed the whole orchard around with all the dying. They call it young tree decline, YTD, and he had a bunch of dead trees in his grove, and I watered them 3 times in 3 months.